Welcome back, everybody, to the restoration on this 1990 Plymouth Voyager. With this whole snow stuff, actually last week was probably the coldest week of the year, like third week of January. That's kind of been normal forever, and then the last 3 years it's been super irregular. So it's, I guess, probably a good thing to see that it's back, but it put everything on a standstill. Everything. But I guess it was a nice break. So we're back finally. I've been itching to work on something, and I got a task today, at least, to start off this video. And that task is to take more parts off. You thought we'd taken everything off, right? No, there's more. There's more. No, it's not the subframe. We're not crossing that road just yet. Today, we're gonna rip the fuel system out of this thing. Starting with that tank that really doesn't look that bad. I don't know what's in it. It didn't smell good from what I remember, but that tank has been down before. And you guys know how we know that it's been down before? Because if we crawl under here and we look on that strap, there's literally a socket stuck to that bolt. I noticed that when it was on the trailer when I was picking this thing up. I was like, oh, that's funny, huh? So somebody's at least been here, right? So we're gonna be the next people to be there. We're gonna rip this fuel tank down. We're gonna get these lines taken out. Okay, now if you crawl under here with me, see, we've got that one out. This one's kind of being a bugger. So, what I've tried doing is prying up here to kind of bind this clip nut that's broke. However, that has failed. So, I'm going to try to get a needle nose vice grip in here on it. I'm going to try that, and when that fails, our next best bet is to get a Sawzall in here and just lop the thing off. I mean, because the hardware's shot anyway. It's just easier to not have to Sawzall things. there's the carnage. There she be. So, like I said, we'll just get these hoses kind of disconnected the rest of the way. And then that guy up there, and then it should slide off the filler neck, should. As you can see, we've got evidence of rodents being in here. I see red fabric from the interior in here. That's always good to see. Oh, there's fuel. There's fuel in that line. Oh, does that smell delicious? Clip, there we go. Okay. That's loose, that's loose. Okay. Now what I might do is take the torch and heat up that breather tube. Just quick, to see if I can get it to slide off. Or we'll see if it just comes off. Ah, it came right off. Good. Okay. That's a bonus. That tank is empty, by the way. Yeah, that tank has got nothing in it. Oh, I just got fuel on me from somewhere. I think. Get off the filler. Let go. A little bit of a struggle going on here. Oh. I win! Okay, maybe it don't look so good. Gee, I wonder why. That's promising, right? Gee, I wonder why it wouldn't come off. It's a little, it's got the yummy stuff on it, huh? Hey, look, brake fluid. I must have disturbed that. And now it's leaking maple syrup. Underneath, looks pretty good. Probably the nicest part of the vehicle up above the tank there. There's a mouse nest in there. You see it? Yeah, I see it. Okay. Oh, geez. Let's go take a look at our prize. Hello, tank. As you can see, that's not a good sign. Now, being a first gen, this has both the sender and the pump. It's separate still. Anyway, the harness is chewed. The plug is chewed. There was nesting here going on. Hey, look, shiny metal. The last shiny, fresh-looking metal on the entire vehicle. Right there. Anyway, it's out. It's not empty, but it's like somebody left a gallon or two in it, you know? It was low, is what I'm saying. So, what we're going to want to do is probably blow all the stuff off of it, and we'll knock these two loose, and we'll just see what we're dealing with. Ideally, this is not ideally. Ideally, it's good, but it's not. This is going to be junk. I don't know if there's even anything worth saving on it. I don't even know if the harness is worth saving, but we'll pull it apart just to see how it looks. I know it doesn't smell very good, I'll tell you that much. But otherwise, what I have to is I got to try to get these fuel lines out in one piece, which should be pretty easy with everything out. The only thing we'll have to do is that the little like cross member there for the muffler bracket, that'll have to come out, and then I'll have to unbolt the fuel pump or the fuel filter. And really, I think all the clamps look like they're pretty all rusted out, and then I should just be able to drop the whole assembly out in one piece, because I have to cut them up into like 3 sections and box them up, send them off, and hopefully I get sent back a nice new set of lines. And we'll talk about that more a little later. All right, so here we are. We got the fuel lines out in one piece for the most part. They are in very, very bad shape. But somehow, the largest line here, I think it's the return, whatever, it doesn't matter. The one line has no holes in it because it poured a bunch of fuel out. The other 2 lines are completely pinholed. Like this line right here was holding fluid. This line right here, it's got a rot hole here, rot hole there. You know, there's where the filter was. So this is the return that somehow was still holding. You know, the main line. You guys see that? Yeah, you can. There ain't nothing left. So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put some tape in 3 sections, probably like here and like here. And I'm gonna put a line, and then I'm gonna chop the lines. And I will be sending these lines off to linetogo.com. And they said that they are going to make me a full set of fuel lines from scratch that I can install in the vehicle as a kit. And we should have brand new fuel lines. So, hopefully that all goes to plan. And we're going to see what they can do from this. Because Lines to Go, from what I can tell, they make a whole bunch of kits. Fuel lines, brake lines, you know, all sorts of good stuff. You can check it out on their website, I suppose. But they wanted to see if they could make something for me. And this is what I said. I'm like, I need lines for a 90 Voyager. They're like, cut them up, send them in, and we'll get you something made. So they should be able to make me some custom lines. And then ideally they'll have the templates to make them from the future, so maybe they'll be available. I don't know. Otherwise, I guess if you guys need some special lines made and you don't want to get a couple rolls of copper line and bend them yourself, maybe you can give those guys a call. We'll see how it turns out. All right, got the tank all stripped down. Let's crack open these 2 nightmares here. I got myself a brass punch and a rubber mallet. All right, let's get this thing cracked open. Boy, does it reek. Because I kind of tipped it upside down so I could knock all like the debris and stuff off it. I don't know what the point of that really is, because I'm not really worried about stuff getting in it, but I guess maybe to kind of clean this up a little bit. I saw what looked like aftermarket hose clamps on these 2, so maybe it's had a fuel pump at some point. I don't know. You never really know, to be honest. Crunchy. I don't see any immediate holes. Like, the outside of the tank doesn't look all that bad for a Minnesota tank. Like, nothing here really concerns me too much. Finding this locking ring is another story. There we go. Will it come loose? Yep, it budged. Knocked everything loose with it. Should probably do this now. Really stir what's in there up again. There we go. It locking ring really does not want to live. It's not a fan of what's happening right now. It's moving though, I think, a little bit. This is not happy with what I'm doing right now. Kind of try to pry on it. I just break the rust here. She's going. Slowly but surely. There she goes. Ah. One locking ring that, present. Well, shall we crack the seal? What is in this disgusting mess? Hello. Surely this fuel pump works just fine, right? Surely, because it really just wants to come right out of there. Oh. Ooh! You guys ready for this? Come here, sock. It's supposed to be flexible, that sock. It's not. Oh. Oh. I think I remember that. Yeah, it's a quick connect on that. What's the inside of this look like? I don't know. I've seen worse, I think. We'll leave that alone for now. That one's cooperating a little better. Nice. Is that gonna... Ugh. Oh, how lovely. You know it's good when that just kind of sits up in the wrong position. Yep. Yep, that's in good shape. Yep. Alright, so that's out. I broke the little plastic piece on there, that quick connect thing. You know, using the wrong tools, but also that end is rusty and it didn't want to go anyway. And it's brittle and old. But let's go ahead. I got a flashlight, and you guys got your light on. Let's take a peek in there. That's what this looks like. That's the sender. There's the whatever. You can see where it was actually in the fuel. It looked okay, but as that fuel evaporated and became corrosive, it destroyed everything with access to air. So, stick you guys in first. You tell me what you see. Not the worst I've seen. That is off of this, so that's why that's not super corroded. That came off of that. Drop the phone. That would not be good. Yeah, that's kind of crunchies. Not ideal. See, just a little bit of muck at the bottom. But you can see where the fuel was, how it didn't corrode because it wasn't exposed to oxygen. Everything that was exposed turned gross. Anyway, that's not ideal. And that was probably ethanol fuel, if I had to guess. If I had to guess. But you never know, I guess. So, I'm going to go ahead and try pour that into a bucket and properly dispose of it. Those, I don't know that there's anything we need to keep from those aside from the locking rings. And we'll make sure those get thrown away. And I'll throw this tank off to the side. In the event that something drastic happens and we need to put a bunch of rocks in it and tumble it, it's there, but this will probably end up on the scrap pile. As expected. Yeah, you guys want to see what comes out of this thing, right? Returning is the half bucket that we used to do this on Blueberry, the 91. I'd like to get this stupid vomit out of here. Yep, there we go. Got that out of here. Make it easier to pour. So, let's see. Make sure my aim is good. That's a good color. Oh, yeah. Good stuff in there. I think we got most of it. Ooh, something fell out. What's that in there? Look at that. Yeah. What is that? I don't know what that was, but it's in there now. Yep. So I suppose the van was run to E, and that's what you got left in it. Definitely got their use out of it, huh? I'm sure some evaporated, but, you know. That's disgusting. Well, I got a small update here for you guys. So, I got good news and I got bad news. Good news, the DMV just told me that that is worth $900. How about that? Look at some value. I've got proven value. The bad news is I gotta get a surety bond for $1,300. Yeah, that's bad news. It's not that bad. I think it's gonna be like $200 to go get this signed and notarized, and we should be good to go as far as actually getting a piece of paper in my hand that says I own that. Beautiful, beautiful Chrysler product right there. That is a 1990 Plymouth Voyager. Anyway, I figured I'd let you know and brag that that is worth $900. Apparently. Here the Voyager sits. Fresh snow this morning. And I've got good news. Finally. Now you guys know that we did, in fact, get plates for this vehicle because this van doesn't have a title, didn't have a title. Didn't have any paperwork with it. I finally gone through all the effort and all the paperwork, and I jumped through all the hoops, which there aren't that many in the state of Minnesota. It's actually really easy to get a title for a vehicle as long as it's actually legit, like this van. I mean, the title disappeared 20 years ago, whatever. Person that originally owned it, as far as I'm concerned or aware, is no longer with us. And, you know, that's how it is, right? There she is. That's a title right there for a 90 Voyager. Just came in the mail today. I did have to get a bond for it. I think I paid $100 for a 9, or because you have to do the bond for 1.5 times the value. They value the van at $900, so I think it was like $1,350 bond. I paid $100 for that bond. Submit that with the state along with a statement of facts, and I think there's another form and the application for title, and boom, you got yourself a title. So she's fully legit. She's got papers now. Now we just gotta put it back together. As you can see, it's got 4 wheels on it again. After I had these on carry for a week or so, and after I was done with them, when I put the new white walls on carry 2.0, I threw these back on here because it did no use to them sitting around. Put the back end back on the ground. I just got the fronts. They're sitting on there. It's off the ground because, you know, control arms and stuff aren't really hooked up to it. Not the control arms, the tie rods, but they're on there. It looks a lot better that way, right? Anyway, it's you know, it's almost end of February. Today's, I think, the last day of February. So March is coming up, and then we got April. It's going to get warm, and I'm getting itching really to work on this van again. So we should have some updates really soon. Sure, the cold should be almost over. Hopefully, right? Hopefully we get this van together by spring, right? There she goes. Another one off to a good home. Bye-bye, Carrie 2.0. Off to a really good home.